Nobody saw it coming. Just when it felt like the dust had settled and every high society battle had been fought, the leak from Season 3, Episode 1 turned everything upside down. The powerful are about to fall, the quiet ones are about to rise. And Bertha Russell, yes, her again is at the heart of it all. But before we dive into what the shocking twist reveals, let's go back because the ending of Season 2 planted every seed for this chaos. The Gilded Age Season 2 ended on a knife's edge. Bertha Russell had finally stepped into the grand ballroom of New York's elite, but not without blood, pride, and manipulation left behind. Her fight to gain social acceptance was relentless, and by the season finale it seemed she had won. She threw the opera war into flames and built her own empire at the Met, pushing Mrs. Astor into a corner. Bertha didn't just challenge the rules, she rewrote them. At the same time, George Russell proved he wasn't just a railroad tycoon, he was a quiet storm. He navigated business rivalries and political danger with ease, but his growing loyalty to Bertha started to show cracks. George supported her public battles, yes, but in private, her hunger for control seemed to concern him. His discomfort with her methods could become a dangerous rift later on. In Brooklyn, Marian Brooks' world was also shaken. After giving up true love for the sake of appearances, she faced the harsh reality of life under Agnes Van Ryn's thumb. Marian wanted freedom, education, and independence, but those dreams clashed with the old-fashioned values in her aunt's house. When she tried to support her friend's art school, she was harshly scolded. By the end of Season 2, Marian looked like she was losing her fight, but the glint in her eyes hinted that she hadn't given up yet. Agnes Van Ryn stood as proud and stubborn as ever. She remained the voice of old New York, defending tradition and class. But even she was starting to feel the pressure of a changing world. Her rules were no longer holding back people like Bertha or Marian. Agnes's pride had protected her for decades, but pride can quickly become a trap. Oscar Van Ryn, still hiding his secret desires, was running out of time. His charm helped him dance through danger, but his desperation to marry rich and maintain his image was becoming obvious. By the finale, it was clear one wrong move and Oscar's carefully built mask would fall apart. He was playing with fire and the world was ready to burn him. Then came the social shift. The lines between old money and new money had started to blur. People who were once outsiders now sat at the dinner tables of the elite. The battle was not just about wealth anymore, it was about power, influence, and who could control the story of New York, and right at the center was Bertha. She wasn't satisfied with victory. She wanted domination. And as the Season 2 credits rolled, her eyes weren't calm, they were hungry. She looked ready to claim more. What was next? The White House? European titles? Nobody knew. But the moment George hesitated at her side, the balance started to wobble. That's where Season 3 picks up. But what no one expected, what truly has fans stunned, is the betrayal coming in Episode 1, a betrayal from someone trusted. A betrayal that will reset the entire social order. And a betrayal that starts with a single whispered secret. One that Bertha can't control. If you thought the wars of the opera were brutal, wait till you see what happens when loyalty shatters in the Russell house. He leak didn't come from the studio. It wasn't part of a teaser or trailer. It came from someone close to the production, someone who saw Episode 1 before the rest of the world. And what they revealed has turned Gilded Age fans completely upside down. Season 3 isn't just continuing. The drama is changing everything we thought we knew about Bertha, George, and Marian. The biggest shock: Bertha Russell may have betrayed her closest ally, and not just for status or influence. According to the leak, Bertha makes a private deal with a European royal who arrives in New York seeking investment and social ties. But here's the catch. To gain this royal favor, Bertha must sacrifice someone from her inner circle, that person. Allegedly, Mrs. Winterton, the very woman Bertha helped raise from scandal to social grace in the leaked scene. Bertha is seen whispering with a royal aide at a midnight gathering, agreeing to expose a secret about Mrs. Winterton's past. This, scandal will ruin Mrs. Winterton's chances of entering European society, But in return, the Russell name will be honored at an upcoming royal event, a dream Bertha's chased for years. Fans who read the leak couldn't believe it. After all that Bertha fought for, why would she destroy someone she just helped? But it doesn't stop there. The leak also reveals a hidden relationship, a romantic connection that no one saw coming. Marian Brooke, still trying to find her place in the world, is rumored to have become close to a new character, Mr. Grayson Pembroke, a wealthy British entrepreneur with mysterious motives. According to the leaked plot, Marian and Mr. Pembroke share more than just quiet conversations. There's a kiss. And not just any kiss, but one shared inside Agnes Van Ryn's own home. While the house is asleep, the consequences of this moment could tear Marian away from her family forever. Agnes already doubts Marian's judgment. If she finds out about the secret romance and if Mr. Pembroke is revealed to be already engaged back in England, the fallout will be devastating. Fans online are already asking, is Marian about to become the subject of the next scandal in the Gilded Age papers? And then comes the final twist in the leak, one that no fan predicted. George Russell finds out what Bertha has done. He hears about the deal. He learns that she betrayed a woman in their circle just to gain more power. And for the first time in the series, George doesn't support her. He doesn't raise his voice and he doesn't confront her in public. But in the privacy of their home, George says just one thing. Is this who we are now? Those words shake Bertha. This single moment has sparked huge debate among fans. Is this the beginning of the fall of the Russells? Could George, who always stood behind his wife, finally be pulling away? And will Bertha choose love or power? One small leak scene has raised a mountain of questions, and if the information is true, Season 3, Episode 1 is about to break every rule the show has followed so far. People are already calling it a social earthquake, a shift so big it could set up a whole new world of enemies, allies, and consequences in the episodes ahead. The leak doesn't tell us everything, but it's enough to know this. Loyalty will be tested, hearts will be broken, and the age of elegance is about to turn brutal. Everything changes after the betrayal. The moment Bertha Russell sacrifices Mrs. Winterton for a seat among European royals, the foundation she built starts to crack and fast. Power is only power if people believe in it. And in Season 3, Episode 1, belief begins to fade. The fallout hits Bertha first. The very women who once admired her boldness now begin to whisper behind her back. Rumors spread. Did Bertha use everyone around her just to climb higher? Is she willing to ruin lives to wear a crown at a foreign banquet? Her enemies don't even need to attack her. Her own ambition has made her vulnerable. Even Mrs. Astor, who once saw Bertha as a rival, now watches her with quiet amusement. Why fight someone who's destroying themselves? But the real threat comes from within her own house. George Russell is not a man who shows emotion easily. He built his empire with discipline and control. But now, watching his wife play a game that crosses every moral line, he begins to retreat. The quiet dinners turn into long silences. The shared smiles fade. And when he looks at Bertha now, it's no longer with pride, but with deep concern. Fans are already speculating. Will George Russell become Bertha's greatest enemy? Not by shouting, not by scandal, but by no longer standing behind her? He says, the only man who ever truly understood her hunger. If she loses him, does she lose herself too? Meanwhile, across town, Marian Brooke stands at a different kind of crossroads. Her secret romance with Mr. Pembroke may have given her hope, but hope quickly turns to fear. Whispers begin. A servant saw something. A note went missing. And then Marian hears the worst news of all. Mr. Pembroke's family is arriving in New York, and they're bringing his FIANCE acute E. Yes, the man Marian trusted has a whole life back in England. And worse, he may have never planned to stay. The fallout for Marian could be brutal. If her Aunt Agnes finds out, it's over. Not just her standing in the household, but her reputation, her security, her future. Agnes already believes Marian is too soft, too romantic, too trusting. This scandal could prove her right and send Marian out of the house with nothing. And let's not forget Agnes Van Ryn herself. She senses the change in the air. Old money is losing its grip, and the new world is no longer asking for permission. Agnes sees Marian slipping away, Oscar losing focus, and the entire structure of society tilting out of control. But what can she do? Her rules no longer shape the world, they only keep her isolated inside it. Some fans believe Agnes will finally take action, that she will go public, that she speak at a society event or publish a powerful letter in the papers, warning New York that tradition must be protected or the city will fall into chaos. Others believe she break in private quietly, watching as the world she built vanishes before her eyes. And then there's Oscar Van Ryn, still dancing at parties, still chasing rich brides. But now, his secret is closer than ever to being exposed. If Marian's scandal explodes, attention will shift. And in that chaos, one wrong step, one mistake, could pull Oscar's entire life into the open. And in a world that forgives social ambition but not hidden love, Oscar may find himself outcast, abandoned, or worse. The leaked plot twist didn't just shake Bertha, it triggered a domino effect across every character in the story. Loyalties are breaking, secrets are bleeding through polished walls, and the divide between power and morality has never been more dangerous. One decision, one betrayal. That's all it took to shift the balance. The characters of the Gilded Age are no longer just playing for society points. They're fighting to survive in a world where every whisper has a cost. Asterisk. The pieces are falling. But where will they land? If the leak twist is truly part of episode 1, then what lies ahead isn't just scandal, it's social war. And all the clues are already hidden in plain sight. Let's start with Bertha. She may have won the battle by gaining favor with European elites, but she's on the verge of losing the war at home. Her enemies are quiet now, but quiet doesn't mean defeated. Mrs. Astor, now backed by a growing number of old money allies, may not need to fight Bertha directly anymore. All she needs is to let Bertha dig her own grave. If Bertha continues this path, the people she once used to climb could join forces to drag her back down. One well-timed leak to the press, one disgraced ally, and Bertha's reputation might collapse in public view. But here's the prediction no one expected. Bertha might not care. Some fans believe this season will mark the beginning of a darker Bertha, a woman who stops chasing approval and starts building a throne of her own. If George turns away from her, she may no longer fight for respect, but for fear. Think about it, what happens when the most ambitious woman in New York feels abandoned? She doesn't run, she takes control, and the cost? Everything. Meanwhile, Marian's situation is about to spiral. If the leak is true and Mr. Pembroke is engaged, then Marian faces not just heartbreak but humiliation. She's stuck between a society that will judge her and a house that may not protect her. But this might be the very thing that transforms her. The soft, careful Marian from Season 2 may become someone far more daring. Maybe she leaves the house. Maybe she runs off to make her own life. Or maybe, just maybe, she strikes back. A few fans believe Marian will reveal Pembroke's lie publicly, causing a scandal so big that it overshadows her own mistake. Others think she might write about it, turning her pain into power. Remember, Marian always wanted independence. This betrayal could be the spark she needed to finally chase it. Agnes Van Ryn's future also carries mystery. Her grip on tradition is slipping, but her pride is still sharp. If she learns about Marian's romance, or worse, if she's forced to defend the family's honor, she might step into the spotlight for the first time. Imagine Agnes making a public speech, defending her niece and surprising everyone. Or imagine her turning her back, choosing the rules over family. Either way, her next move could change everything. Then there's George. He knows the truth now. He knows what Bertha did to get ahead. And the question is no longer if he'll act, it's how. Will he walk away quietly? Will he cut deals behind her back? Or could George become the moral center of the show, the only person strong enough to stop Bertha before she goes too far? Some theories suggest he might even form a secret alliance with someone like Mrs. Astor or Agnes to contain Bertha's growing influence. The trailer hints support this. In one brief shot, George is seen standing alone on the steps of a courthouse. In another, Bertha is in tears, but the camera cuts before we see who she's crying to. And in a third, Marian is shown walking into a crowded room, dressed in bold red, while everyone else wears pale tones. The symbolism isn't subtle something big is coming. So what's next? Expect new alliances to form. Expect quiet characters to rise. Expect heartbreak, disgrace, and maybe even a social exile. The Gilded Age doesn't move fast, but when it does move, it erupts. And if episode 1 has already broken the rules, just imagine what the finale might bring. This is no longer a battle of new money versus old. It's survival. It's betrayal, love, ambition, and every single character is now a piece on a shifting board. The only question left is, who will still be standing when the season ends?